may pass away, and the earth will fade in time, but I've got you, Jesus. I've got you, Jesus. And the world will pass away. The earth will pass away, but I've got you, Jesus. I've got you here, Jesus. You will never fail me. You will never leave me helpless. You will never leave me behind. You will never forsake me. I've got you, Jesus. I've got you, Jesus. My mind couldn't comprehend what was happening, but something was happening. Something bad was happening. I was being depressed, and I was depressed, and I was trying to, I attempted to kill myself so many times, and it was always at a bus stop where I would either jump in front of cars, oncoming buses, but I would freeze. Something would freeze me, and I'm just glad that it did. I'm glad, and I tried cutting. Like something, I didn't want to die, but I was miserable. Why can't I just die?
Sounds like you were crying out.
Yes, I just, I skipped school for like 30 days. I was 16. I just tried to kill myself, and I remember that room was just full of darkness. It was just darkness, and I didn't even want to turn on the lights. I would just sit there in the darkness.
And how did you come out of that?
I woke up one day and God told me, if you stay here any longer, you're gonna die. So,
but isn't that what you wanted?
But when he said die, something in me woke up.
Triggered something, yeah.
It was more like, that's it, Becca. Total separation from me. Hell, that's what it is. It's not like when you die,
you don't
like
get a second chance.
Asleep.
Right.
No, you die. And that just like, whoa. It was, I don't know how to say it. It was more of it was like conviction. It was like, choose. Do you want to be in hell or?
Right.
And, but he said it so gently though. It's not like, you're gonna die.
Right.
It wasn't, he said it so gently.
He didn't reprimand you.
Just one day. Just one day. It took one day.
That you were supposed to do that love out loud.
I was 20 years old when God finally, it was God telling me, discover God and you will discover your identity. Discover God, you will discover your purpose. And also, tell everybody about this. You can't just keep this to yourself. He said, you must tell everyone about this. And I had such a heart for young people, because especially foster kids, because I was one myself.
Well, sure, you can relate.
And
do you think that God had those circumstances happen to you so that you could comfort others?
Yes. So back to your question again. It wasn't God's will for evil to happen, but man failed.
Right.
Man failed. Man's evil nature actually robbed people.
But how do you explain that to someone that's been through a difficult circumstance, whether rape or somebody was killed and some relative? How do you explain that to that person?
I would share them my story. I would share them my story because I had the same questions, like what I can really look at them in the eyes and say, God will never fail you. Men failed you. I went through that myself. Men raped you. Men abused you. Men didn't feed you. Men locked you up. Men put you in this bondage. Why? Because evil was ruling them. They were living in the kingdom of hell. They were living the kingdom of darkness. They were not citizen of the kingdom of heaven. If they were, they wouldn't have done that. They weren't, although they were Christians, some of these people were Christians.
Right.
they were not doing the will of God.
Right.
They were not about the Father's business. They were actually inflicting pain.
Right.
And where that becomes the core values of Love Out Loud. Discover God and you'll discover your purpose. Discover God and you'll discover your identity. You discover your identity, who you are, your value. You know, when you discover God, you'll discover that, like, just how much you're worth. And discover God and you'll discover your purpose, what you can do. You know, the God-given talents that you have, these designs. You were made with designs, and those designs are basically gifts and talents. God invested that in you, and that's to love Him. That's to be about His business. You know, so that became, God revealed that to me. You know, I was discovering a lot of people, the mistake that they make is they try to discover who they are. They try to find their identity. But that is a wrong thing to do. Don't try to look for yourself. Look for God and you will find who you are. When you discover God, you'll find your identity. You'll find your purpose. When you look for Him, you seek Him, you'll know who you are, because He will tell you who you are. And anyway, Love Out Loud. You know, it's why are we here? You know, why is Love Out Loud here? Like, simply for childlike reason is this: I was once abused. I was an angry kid, prideful. I was rebellious. I was messed up, suicidal. I was raped, I was molested, and I was robbed out of my calling. But God, you know, I asked myself, I was there, and then, but where is she now? Where is she today? And I can say, she's gone. She's not. I am not there anymore. I am not in that pit anymore. I am not in that darkness anymore. I'm not there. I may not have it all together. I'm still a work in progress, but I'm not there. I can say today that I'm about my Father's business. That's what I can say today. Where's the middle? Take 2 or 3.
Yes.
Wait. It's true. No man's an island, more like a woman.